Hey everybody, it's Keegan here. I'm back with another video for you guys. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys another collection video. And this is going to be my first collection video that I've made in over 6 months, since the last collection video I made was all the way back in March, and we're at near the end of September. So I figured, why not do another collection video? And today it's going to be a gaming related collection. This is going to be my PlayStation 2 collection. I have a total of 22 games, so I have a lot of games to go through in this video. So I'm not going to say too much about each game, but we'll go by them one by one in alphabetical order. And if it's in a series, I'll pull them all together if they're in a series. Now, the PlayStation 2 is definitely one of the greatest gaming consoles of all time. There are so many great games on it. Now, I didn't actually own a PlayStation 2 growing up. I played a lot of PlayStation 2 games at either my friend's house or at my uncle's house. I didn't own a PlayStation 2 until I bought a system in 2020, so I've been collecting PS2 games for the last 3 years. So in this video, I'll be showing off all the games I got on the PlayStation 2, of course. So we're over a minute in, and I haven't showed off any games yet, so let's not waste any more time, and let's go ahead and get started. The first 3 games are actually part of a series. We got ATV Off-Road Fury, ATV Off-Road Fury 2, and ATV Off-Road Fury 3. Now, I know there's a 4th ATV Off-Road Fury game, but I don't have it, and I've also never played that one. We'll start with the first game here, which came out in 2001. It's a really fun quad game. You can even do a free mode. You can race, and there's time trials, kind of your average racing game, except you can do free roam on the maps, which is pretty cool. And for a PlayStation 2 game, this game had some really good graphics, and I like the music in this game too. It was developed by Rainbow Studios, and it was published by Sony Computer Entertainment. But it's a really, really fun game. ATV Off-Road Fury 2 and 3, these two are the ones I played the most when I was a kid. I don't think I actually played the first one as a kid, but I remember playing the second one and the third one when I was a kid. The sequel, the second game, came out in 2002 and was again developed by Rainbow Studios. This one I like. I don't know which one I like the most. I think maybe the third one, but we'll get to that one in a second. This one has more maps, more quads, more riders, and a lot more music. And great choice in music. I love the music in this game. And slightly better graphics for a PS2 game, I guess. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. And 3, this one I remember playing the most as a kid, along with the second one. And this one was actually developed by Climax Games, and this one came out in 2004. This one I remember playing the most at my friend's house. Had a lot of fun memories playing this game. And playing this game again as an adult, it actually still holds up in my opinion. Great music. You got music from like Creed and I think Metallica, I believe, if I remember correctly. And this game's got better graphics and more. I love the level designs, and I love the weather in this game, like where it rains, like the drips of rain hits the screen, which is pretty cool, if you know what I mean. But ATV Off-Road Fury 3 is probably my favorite, and I have a lot of fun playing this one. It still holds up today, in my opinion. And as I mentioned before, I know there's a 4th ATV Off-Road Fury game, but I don't have it, and I've never played it, but maybe someday down the road I'll check it out. Anyways, the next game we got here is Black, developed by Criterion Games and published by EA, back when everyone didn't hate on them like today. This game is also available on the original Xbox, and this game originally came out in 2005, I believe. No, actually 2006. This is a really, really good first-person shooter. I love the destruction mechanics in this game. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Battlefield with the destruction mechanics, which is really cool. And it's a really, really fun game. Unfortunately, this is a single player only game. There's no multiplayer or anything, but that's pretty much it. But nonetheless, it's a really, really fun game with some really cool physics, and it's a really, really fun game. The next game is a Rockstar game, and it's not the first Rockstar game you'll see in this video, spoiler alert, and that is Bully, which came out in 2006. And this game is also available on the Xbox 360, the Nintendo Wii, the PC, and I believe it's a bit available on the App Store, I believe. I could be wrong, though. It's a pretty good game. It's sort of like GTA, except you're in a school, well, university or whatever the hell the place is called. And you don't kill people, you just beat up people. And you play as Jimmy right there. It's a pretty good game. I never beat it, but it is a pretty great game. And I hear rumors that they might be making a sequel, but I don't know. I thought a while ago, I thought they canceled plans for the sequel, but I'm not sure. Maybe they might be making a sequel, but who knows. If they do make a sequel, I'd actually be curious about it. It would be pretty interesting, I'd say. Next up is Call of Duty Finest Hour. I think this was the first Call of Duty game that was released on console, I believe. I could be wrong, though. This was developed by Spark and Kuju. I don't know how you pronounce that company's name. And published by Activision. This game's from 2004. Also available on the Xbox, GameCube, and I believe on the PC too, I believe. I'm not sure, though. It's not a bad game. It's a little dated, but it's pretty decent for a Call of Duty game. But this was before Call of Duty really started to get popular with like Call of Duty 4 and all that. But again, it's not a bad game. It's not my favorite game in the series, though. Sorry about that. The next game is another childhood classic game that I remember playing a lot as a kid, and that is Crash Nitro Kart, developed by Vicarious Visions, I believe, in NVIDIA Universal Games, and was released in 2003. Also available on the original Xbox and GameCube, I believe. This one I remember playing a lot as a kid, and I believe this was the only Crash Bandicoot game I ever played as a kid, believe it or not. Got back into playing this game for the first time in years earlier this year, and I think this game is still pretty fun. It's still just as fun as I remember it. But I remember playing this game a lot at my friend's house as a kid. And it's a pretty good game. I like it. It still holds up today, in my opinion. But I haven't played any of the other Crash Bandicoot games other than this one. But maybe someday I'll check out the other Crash Bandicoot games. But again, this is the only one I've ever played as a kid. And that's that one. Next up is Crazy Taxi, from Converted, published by Acclaim and developed by Sega, and was released in 2001. And this game is also available on the Dreamcast, Xbox, and GameCube. And I believe there's some other ports of this game that I'm not aware of, but I know this game originally started out as an arcade game. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's a really fun game. It's got some great music from like The Offspring, most notably for their song All I Want, which is used as the theme song for this game at the intro. But it's a pretty fun game. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. But it's also got music by Bad Religion as well. But again, don't really have too much else to add. It is a pretty good game. Next up is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, the first one, from Red Storm Entertainment and Ubisoft, and was originally released in 2002, is what it says on the back. I don't have the other Ghost Recon games on the PS2, but I do have Wildlands on the Xbox One. This game's not bad, but it's so weird compared to the more recent titles in the series. Like, it's a first-person shooter, but you swap swap as other characters on the battlefield and you control your squad, which is pretty cool, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to if you're a newer player into the game like myself. But it's not a bad game, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to. I will get the other Ghost Recon games some other day, but again, someday. But again, I do have Wildlands on the Xbox One, which I really enjoy. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to add, so we're just going to move on to the next game, which is God of War, the first one. I don't have God of War 2 yet, but I will get that one someday. This game's from Sony Computer Entertainment, and was released in 2005. And it's a really, really good hack and slash game. I've actually played this game for the first time this year, and I haven't beat it yet, but I really enjoy this game so far. It's a really good hack and slash game. And I haven't played any of the other God of War games, but I do want to try them out someday. And I will get the second game when I beat this one. But again, God of War, great game. I really enjoy it. Next one, the next three, another series of games, and there are 3 Rockstar games, and they are entries into one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. We'll start with GTA 3. GTA 3, this is the game that changed the series forever. The first 2 games were an overhead view, but then this game, it's like an open world. It's like an all third person, if you know what I mean. It definitely changed the franchise forever and was pretty big for the series. And this game was originally released in 2001 and was co-developed by DMA, which was their last game before they got rebranded into Rockstar North, I believe. This game hasn't really aged well, of course. Well, none of these 3 games have aged well by today's standards. And this game's not my favorite in the series, but I do have to give it credit as this is the game that revolutionized the whole franchise. But it's not a bad game, but it's just not my favorite in the series. But it's not bad, but I do got to give it credit for what it is. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which came out a year later in 2002. I like this one a little bit better than 3. This one takes place in the 80s. And it's got a damn good soundtrack and damn good choice of music. And you got a lot of celebrity voice actors in this game too. You got Burt Reynolds, rest in peace, DeLay Ray Liotta, who voiced the main character. Trying to think of who else. I think Gary Busey voiced one of the characters. I can't remember. I think that might have been in Vice City Stories, I believe. But yeah, I do have quite a bit of few celebrity voice actors in this game. And yeah, it's I think I like this game a little better than GTA 3, but it is a great game overall. And San Andreas is my favorite of the three GTA games right here. I actually used to have the Xbox 360 version of it, but I got rid of it because I think the 360 version is garbage. It's just a shitty port of the iPhone version. And this game originally came out in 2004. But again, this game hasn't really aged well, but it's still a really fun game to play. And you got Samuel L. Jackson as Officer Tenpenny in this game, one of the antagonists. And you got some great music in this game too. The only thing that kind of annoys me with these 3 GTA games is whenever you die, you lose all your weapons. You got to get them all over again. Like, whenever you die, you lose all your weapons. But it's not like that in the other games since GTA 4. But it takes some time to get used to. But again, GTA San Andreas is my favorite of these 3. It's an awesome game. But the other 2 games are still good. And I don't have Vice City Stories or Liberty City Stories, but I'll get those ones someday. Anyways, next up is Gran Turismo 4, the real driving simulator is what it says. I know there is also Gran Turismo 3 on the PS2, but I don't have that one yet. and I don't think I've ever actually played that one. This one I do remember playing as a kid. It's a pretty good game. I like Gran Turismo 5 better. That one's on the PS3. But this is still a really fun racing game. And this game originally came out in 2004. Still a pretty good racing game. It had some really good graphics for its time too, I must say, for a PlayStation 2 game. But don't really have anything else to add, so we're just going to move on to the next game, which is Hitman II Silent Assassin from IO Interactive and Eidos. This game originally came out in 2002, and it's also available on the original Xbox, GameCube, and the PC. And I forgot to mention that GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are also available on the original Xbox, PC, and the Xbox One, and PS4, 5, and Xbox Series X and Y, and whatever. Except I hear that Definitive Trilogy is shit, which is why I don't have that one, actually. Anyways, back to Hitman 2. I'm a big fan of the Hitman games. I like Blood Money and the I think it was 2016 when that first one came out, I believe. Like the reboot or something. I can't remember. I have that one on the Xbox One as well. But I do like the Hitman games. This one, it was okay. It's not my favorite in the series. It's kind of outdated. Like there's just parts in this game where it's just really repetitive. But it's not a bad game by any means, but it's definitely not my favorite in the series. But it was alright, I guess. Next up is another game I remember playing as a kid. Hot Shots Golf 4 from Sony Computer Entertainment and was originally released in 2004. It's a fun golf game. I think I've played Hot Shots Golf 3 as well, but I can't remember. But I know for sure I played this one as a kid. And it's a pretty fun golf game. Don't really have anything else to add to it. But yeah, it's a fun game. Next up is Killzone, the first one from Guerrilla. I believe that's how I pronounce that company. And was published by Sony Computer Entertainment and again came out in 2004. It's a pretty good first-person shooter. Somewhat outdated, but not too bad. I do have Killzone 3 on the PS3 as well, and I don't have the second one, but maybe someday I'll get that one. But it's a pretty good game. I don't really have too much to add to it. So we're just going to move on to the next game. And this next game is a very controversial game that I'm sure a lot of you probably have heard of. Manhunt, the first one. I don't have Manhunt 2, but I'll probably get that one someday. But right now I got the first one. There's another Rockstar game that was published in 2003. But I don't really need to go into too much of the controversy. I'm sure you know about it. And it's a stealth game where you got to sneak up on all the bad guys, and if you hold down the square or X button, you can just kill them. It'll just a little cutscene will play of you murdering them cold-blooded from using plastic bags, knives, baseball bats, blackjacks. I believe is what you call those little blunt objects. I forgot what they were called. You could also use crowbars, machetes, and shit like that. It's a pretty dark game. But it's a pretty violent game for its time too. I know the sequel is even more violent, that it got an AO rating before they had to censor it to get an M rating. But it's a pretty hard game at times. There are some parts in this game where it's just a pain in the ass. And I never actually beat this game yet, but maybe one day I'll beat it. And I don't have the second one, but I will get that one someday, although I hear mixed things about the second one. But it is a great game overall. I do enjoy this one. It's definitely something for its time. And it's not hard to see why the game got banned in some countries. But I don't really have too much to add. I don't want to take this too long, but Manhunt, it's an awesome game. I really enjoyed that one, and I will pick up the second one someday. And speaking of Rockstar, the next one is another Rockstar game, and that is Max Payne, the first one. I don't have Max Payne 2 or 3, but I will get those someday. It was developed by Remedy, published by Rockstar, and was also produced by 3D Realms. And this game originally came out in 2001. This game's also available on the original Xbox, PC, I believe, and on the iPhone. And I forgot to mention, Manhunt's also available on the original Xbox and PC, and I know you can get the PC version of Manhunt on Steam. I believe this game might actually be getting a remaster, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it might be. I could be wrong though. But Max Payne, awesome game. I love how you can slow down time while you kill your enemies, and you just blast them away, kind of like something out of a John Woo movie or something. But I never actually beat this game yet, but I got pretty far into it, and I will get the second one someday when I beat it. So yeah. Next up is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty from Konami, and was originally released in 2001. I do like the Metal Gear Solid games. It's another one of my favorite series of all time. And I know the third game is getting remastered, and I believe the same thing with this game here is also getting a remastered as well. I believe it's going to be coming out this year, I believe. I'm not sure though. But this is a really good game, although it takes quite a bit of time to get used to the controls. The controls are a little bit of a pain in the ass to get used to, I'll say that. But once you get the hang of it, it gets fun. It becomes a lot more fun and very sneaky. I like stealth games. Stealth games are some of my favorite types of games. I don't have Metal Gear Solid 3 or the first one, which is on PS1, but I will get those someday. I do have Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Xbox One and the Peace Walker as well on the 360. I own it digitally though. But overall, Metal Gear Solid 2, a really, really great game. Definitely one of the best games in the series that I played, at least. Next up is The Punisher. This is a pretty hard to find game from THQ, Marvel, and Volation Incorporated. And this game originally came out in 2005. And unfortunately, Volation Inc. recently went out of business. Recently, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, they went out of business not very long ago. They were the people that were responsible for the Saints Row games, so it's unfortunate to hear that they recently shut it down. This game is also available on the Xbox and I believe on the PC too, I believe. I'm not sure though. I could be right though. This game's kind of like Max Payne except gorier, and you can interrogate your enemies like using an electric chair and the drill there, which is fucking crazy. But it's a pretty crazy game. I really enjoyed this game. It's a pretty hard to find game too. I got this one for $74 at Game City, and I'm very happy to have it. I haven't actually beat it yet, but I'm pretty close to beating it. It's a really, really great game that I highly recommend. I kind of wish they would remaster this one. This is a really good game. But if you never played The Punisher, definitely check it out. It's an awesome game. I really enjoyed this one. Alright, there's only 2 games left, and then we'll be done this video. The next game is another game in a series that I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time. Sniper Elite, the first one. Developed by Rebellion and published by Namco. And this game originally came out in 2005. I'm a big fan of the Sniper Elite series. It's one of my favorite gaming series of all time. I have the second game on Xbox 360, and I have 3, 4, and 5 on the Xbox One. It's a pretty good game, but it is outdated at the same time. Like, it's a bit dated. But there is some things I like about it. But, I don't know, it's just a little outdated. But for the first game in the series, it's not bad. But the other games, like the other sequels, are a lot better than this game, I'd say. But for what it's worth, it's still a pretty good game overall. It's pretty hard at times, too. It's another stealth game. And, yeah. Not much else for me to say about this one. And the last game for this video is Twisted Metal Black from Incog Inc. and Sony Computer Entertainment, and was released in 2001. I really enjoy this game. I do like the Twisted Metal games. I have Head On the PSP, and I've also played the third one on PS1, but I don't have a PS1. This is probably my favorite Twisted Metal game that I played. I love the level designs and all the story lines for all the characters. It's a pretty dark game for the storylines. But it's overall a really good game, and definitely one of the darkest games on the PS2, I'd say. But I don't really have anything else to say, but it's definitely one of the best games in the series, and probably the best Twisted Metal game ever made, I'd say. So yeah. Anyways, that's all the games I have for the PS2. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, as always, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, share the video with your friends, follow me on my other social medias. The links are in the description down below like they always are. And yeah, what is your favorite game on the PS2? Let me know in the comments section below. But yeah, guys, so yeah, that's all I gotta say. So until next time, this is Keegan Shepherd signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.